You are 42 years old. You are standing in a chaotic, fluorescent-lit terminal at 4:15 a.m., clutching a frayed backpack that you desperately hope fits into the metal baggage sizer. Your net worth is deeply in the red due to a lingering medical bill and a high-interest consolidation loan. This flight wasn't booked for a vacation. You are flying cross-country because your aging uncle is ill. To secure the $180 basic economy ticket, you had to decline seat assignment, check baggage, and ticket flexibility. Your lower back is already throbbing from the stress of the security line, where you felt the collective, impatient glare of hundreds of strangers pushing behind you. The airline treats you not as a customer, but as a logistical liability. When Group 8 is finally called, you walk down the jet bridge into a cabin that smells heavily of industrial disinfectant and stale coffee. You discover your randomly assigned seat is 34B, a middle seat in the absolute last row, directly adjacent to the rear lavatory. The overhead bins are already completely full, rammed shut with the overpacked roller bags of higher status passengers. A stern flight attendant takes your backpack and informs you it must be checked to your final destination. You try to explain that your medication is inside, but she has already turned her back to manage the bottleneck. As the plane taxis, you are pinned between a towering man whose shoulder completely invades your space and a window seat passenger who has already shut the plastic blind. Your knees are pressed firmly into the hard plastic shell of row 33. When the refreshment cart finally rattles down the aisle 3 hours later, you are handed a miniature plastic cup containing 3 sips of lukewarm water and a tiny bag containing exactly 6 pretzels. You look at the digital flight tracker on the tiny overhead screen. You have 4 more hours of confinement. You realize this entire experience is engineered to make you feel as small, uncomfortable, and compliant as humanly possible. You are 44 years old. You have managed to clear the high-interest debt and carve out a small financial buffer, including $35,000 inside an index fund. It is a rainy Thursday afternoon, and you are traveling for a regional corporate conference. You booked a standard main cabin ticket using your corporate credit card, which allows you to select a window seat in row 22 and brings the luxury of a single complimentary check bag. Standing in the terminal, you don't feel the raw, panicky dread of level 1. But you are acutely aware of the rigid class system operating all around you. You watch the priority and first-class lanes sweep wealthy travelers through a dedicated security portal while you wait in the winding, standard queue. When boarding begins, you wait through 5 distinct announcements before Group 4 is cleared. Walking into the aircraft, you manage to lift your small carry-on into the overhead bin directly above your seat. It feels like a minor administrative victory. Your seat has an adjustable headrest, and there's an outdated, low-resolution entertainment screen embedded in the headrest in front of you. But as the flight progresses, you realize that while you aren't actively suffering, you are still firmly trapped in the mass-market demographic. The airline treats you with a polite, automated indifference. The flight attendant offers a choice of a full soda can or a generic coffee, but when you ask if there are any fresh food options available for purchase, you are told the cart ran out of sandwiches by row 12. You spend the flight watching a movie with your own tangled wire headphones because the airline-issued earbuds cost $5. You look out the window at the gray cloud layer. Bureau of Labor Statistics data reminds you that you are earning more than the national median, yet your flying experience feels entirely transactional. You are a paying passenger, but to the airline's automated algorithms, you are simply a weight imbalance statistic on a digital manifest. You are 46 years old. Your portfolio has reached $140,000, and you have finally attained a mid-tier co-branded airline credit card. It is 5:30 p.m. on a chaotic Wednesday, and you are traveling for a high-stakes client presentation. Because you have accumulated a modest bank of frequent flyer miles, you successfully upgraded your ticket to Economy Plus or Main Cabin Extra. You are permitted to board in Group 2, right after the elite tiers. As you bypass the long line of passengers waiting in the terminal, you feel a distinct, pleasant surge of middle-class validation. You are finally playing the game. Your upgrade grants you a seat in row 11, providing an extra 4 inches of legroom and a dedicated overhead bin that hasn't been cannibalized by late boarders. The airline treats you with a calculated, superficial warmth. The purser addresses you by your last name when scanning your digital boarding pass, and your seat features a slightly wider headrest and a complimentary premium snack box containing artisan crackers and fig paste. You settle into your seat, plug your tablet into the functional USB port, and convince yourself that you have officially escaped the indignities of modern commercial travel. But as you look ahead toward the first-class curtain, you see the real power dynamics of the cabin. A flight attendant is hanging a tailored trench coat for a passenger in 2F while offering him a glass of sparkling wine before the boarding doors have even closed. You look down at your premium snack box and realize your status is entirely synthetic, a marketing illusion designed to keep you loyal to a specific brand ecosystem. Federal Reserve data reminds you that your savings put you ahead of the median household, yet you are still just an elevated consumer in a mass-market tube. You have bought a slightly wider cage, and the key is still entirely in the airline's hands. That quiet compromise settles over your shoulders. You are 48 years old. Your investment accounts are ticking past $440,000. You have entered the high-overhead lifestyle phase, and your travel habits have evolved accordingly. You no longer play the mileage lottery. You simply purchase a domestic first-class ticket using personal funds for a family vacation. It is 7:15 a.m. on a crisp Saturday morning. You walk past the chaotic standard security queue entirely, utilizing the dedicated, sleek priority lane that whisks you through to the terminal in under 6 minutes. You feel an entitled sense of relief. The airline now treats you as a revenue-generating asset. When the boarding announcement begins, you are called in first class/Group 1. You walk down the jet bridge first, stepping into a wide leather seat in row 3. There is no scramble for overhead space. Your roller bag glides into a pristine, half-empty bin. A flight attendant immediately takes your jacket and hands you a heavy glass of freshly squeezed orange juice. Your knees are nowhere near the seat in front of you, and the armrest is a solid, wide barrier of polished wood and leather that you don't have to fight for. Yet, as the flight takes off, a strange psychological friction develops. You look around the cabin and realize you are surrounded by people who treat this luxury with absolute bored indifference. The man next to you is wearing a faded sweatshirt and didn't even look up from his laptop when his hot meal was served. You find yourself hyper-aware of the service, feeling a sharp spike of irritation because a flight attendant took 12 minutes to refill your sparkling water. Your threshold for comfort has become dangerously high, making you incredibly fragile. You are spending thousands of dollars per flight just to avoid discomfort, meaning your wealth hasn't actually liberated you. It has simply made the standard reality of public travel completely intolerable to your ego. You stare out at the clouds, trapped by your own expectations. You are 49 years old. Your net worth has officially crossed the $1.2 million mark, turning you into a valued customer for global airline alliances. You no longer wait in the public terminal at all. Your travel begins behind the frosted glass doors of an exclusive carrier lounge, a perk secured by your high-tier frequent flyer status and premium car memberships. It is 6 p.m. on a frantic Thursday. While thousands of passengers fight for charging outlets and stale fast food out by the gates, you are sitting in a leather armchair, sipping a complimentary espresso, and eating an artisanal salad from a self-serve buffet. The airline treats you with a seamless, highly engineered hospitality. You are ushered into the plane during the priority boarding window, stepping past a crowded economy queue straight into an international business class seat for your annual transatlantic trip. Your seat converts into a fully flat bed at the touch of a button, and you are handed a designer amenity kit containing high-end skincare products. You settle into your private pod, enjoying the physical separation from the masses. But as the cabin lights dim over the Atlantic, the psychological reality of your wealth sets in. You are a millionaire, but your fortune is largely illiquid, tied up in your primary residence and retirement accounts. This premium experience was funded by carefully optimized credit card points and corporate travel hacking, not raw cash. You look at the business executives around you who casually booked these $6,000 seats on a whim, and you realize you are still playing a game of simulation. You have gained access to the sanctuary, but you are still hyper-aware of the cost of admission. You fall asleep on your premium mattress pad, knowing that on Monday morning, you must return to the corporate grind to justify this taste of luxury. You are 51 years old. Your investment accounts hold a commanding $3.5 million, giving you the financial confidence to completely ignore point optimization. You simply pay cash for international business and first-class tickets. It is 11 p.m. at a major international hub. You are checking in at a dedicated private first-class terminal wing. There are no lines, no heavy luggage scales, and no frantic rushing. A concierge handles your passport, prints your heavy gold-embossed boarding pass, and escorts you through a private security checkpoint. The airline treats you as an elite individual. Once on board the flagship aircraft, you step into an enclosed first-class suite featuring a sliding privacy door, a personal wardrobe, and a multi-course tasting menu curated by a Michelin-starred chef. The purser greets you by name before takeoff, memorizing your beverage preferences. When you want to sleep, a flight attendant meticulously prepares your bed with Egyptian cotton sheets and a plush duvet. You are completely insulated from the noise, the turbulence, and the sheer human friction of public transit. Yet, as you sit in your private capsule floating at 35,000 feet, an intense wave of isolation hits you. You look through the privacy screen and realize that this level of luxury has completely severed your connection to the ordinary world. Your old friends can no longer afford to travel with you, and your conversations with fellow passengers are limited to detached discussions about asset management and global tax havens. You have built an unassailable financial moat around your physical body, but the internal price is absolute solitude. You stare at the high-definition flight map, realizing you about the finest cage the commercial aviation industry can construct, but you are still flying on someone else's schedule. You are 53 years old. Your family office reports a net worth of $11.5 million. At this stage, commercial aviation, even in first class, has become a bureaucratic annoyance you actively pay to avoid. You have purchased a fractional share in a mid-sized private jet program, giving you guaranteed access to a quiet fleet of aircraft with only a few hours' notice. It is 2 p.m. on a sunny Friday. You do not drive to a major international airport. You pull your vehicle directly onto the tarmac of a private fixed-base operator, FBO, terminal. The aviation staff treats you with a quiet, deferential familiarity. There are no security lines, no body scanners, and no baggage drop counters. The captain walks out to your car, shakes your hand, and personally carries your luggage to the aircraft. Within 9 minutes of arriving at the facility, you are sitting in a plush, rotating leather captain's chair inside a quiet cabin that smells of cedar and expensive wool. The flight attendant pours your favorite vintage of wine before the engines even start. Yet, as the jet climbs smoothly into the upper atmosphere, a distinct psychological isolation sets in. You look across the cabin at your teenagers, who are buried in their screens, completely unmoved by the fact that they are flying on a private aircraft. They have never sprinted through a terminal to catch a connecting flight. They have never experienced the raw, collective chaos of public transit. You realize that by building this expensive financial moat to protect your family from discomfort, you have completely severed their connection to the ordinary world. You have successfully bought your way out of the human experience, and you are left flying inside a quiet, luxurious vacuum. You are 55 years old. Your liquid net worth has surpassed the $45 million mark, elevating you above standard private charters. You now utilize a specialized, ultra-long-range global aircraft managed by your own corporate entity. Your travel is entirely handled by a dedicated aviation division within your family office. It is sunset on a crisp Thursday evening. Your aircraft is resting on a private runway in Geneva, waiting to take you on a non-stop journey across the Atlantic. At this tier, you never see a terminal building. Your vehicle is met at a private security gate by a customs official who stamps your passport while you remain seated in the car. The aircraft treats you as a sovereign ruler. The cabin has been completely customized to your exact specifications, featuring a private master bedroom, a walk-in shower, and a conference room with a global satellite uplink. The onboard chef prepares fresh, customized meals based on your current biometric needs. You are completely insulated from every physical friction known to modern humanity. But as you look down at the dark Atlantic Ocean from 45,000 feet, an intense wave of nostalgia hits you. You open your phone and scroll to the bottom of an archived digital folder, opening a note titled Flight Info from 23 years ago. It is a frantic confirmation for a $180 basic economy ticket, tracking gate changes and baggage fees. You read those faded lines, and you realize with absolute clarity that the hungry, stressed young man who fought to the terminal at 4 a.m. was far more vibrantly alive than the comfortable man sitting in the sky tonight. That man had an apex to reach. You are just standing alone on a frozen summit. The orange horizon darkens.